So, what should we look out for in Theresa May's big Brexit speech? Well, there are three key areas: immigration, trade, transitional deal. And we're looking for any sort of detail in those three key areas. So on immigration, we know Theresa May wants to end freedom of movement as it's operated in the past, but does she want to end it altogether, or might she allow some sort of free movement for EU workers who have a job? In other words, you could still come to the UK if you had a job offer. And how might that work? Might that be through businesses having to apply for work permits, or could the government impose work quotas? In other words, it might set limits on the number of workers who are allowed to come for a particular sector, say to work on farms or something like that. Then there's trade. We know very likely Theresa May will signal that we're leaving the single market, and yes, probably also leaving the customs union. But we also know she wants as much free access and free trade as possible. So is there any way we can leave the customs union without then facing tariffs within Europe? Is there some sort of mechanism deal we can reach with the rest of Europe to enable us to still avoid tariffs within the European area? And lastly, we come to the issue of a transitional deal. We know Theresa May has talked about avoiding a cliff edge for business. We know David Davis is sympathetic to this, to avoid business suddenly having to deal with a new world. In fact, Theresa May has also talked about an implementation process. But what might that mean? How long might it last? And would it mean during that period we were still subject to the rules of the European Court of Justice? So three key areas to look out for: immigration, trade, transitional deal.